That's probably a good note to start on.
That is flying through the air.
Treadmill catapult for the win.
I think I was just bored. And I wanted to do fun things.
I mean, that's fair.
Right. To be fair, I wasn't supervised enough for anybody to stop me, so.
Also fair.
Here we are.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tales from the Front Troop. We'll see how things go tonight. My plans are being held together with duct tape and bubblegum.
Hell yeah.
But if you're enjoying what we're doing, there are many ways to support the show. We have a Beacons page with affiliate links, our Redbubble, coffee, all those fun things.
You can also send us your mom's number, your social security numbers, your mom's maiden names, you know. We take cold hard cash if you see us in
your
person.
mom as payment.
We will accept your mom as payment.
Instead of your mom selling you to, what was it?
One Direction.
The boy band. Yeah, One Direction.
Yeah.
You can sell your mom to One Direction, except it's us.
What?
I'll tell you later.
It's a Wattpad
Tell you
trope.
when you're older, man.
It's a dumb meme.
It would be better if there were only 5 of us, and that would really work. But all of our social medias are on there as well. You can find a link to the Discord. Hop in there. If you're watching the video on YouTube, like and subscribe. But you can join us live sometimes, occasionally, when we feel like it.
Sometimes on Mondays, sometimes randomly. And we may or may not announce it because we have our stuff together and nobody is burnt out here. Promise.
No one.
Well, that's a claim.
As we all laugh in Apocalypse.
Yep. But we can go around and have everyone introduce themselves and who they're playing. And the exceptional icebreaker that the generator gave us today is: which do you prefer, oceans or mountains, and why?
Ooh, yes. This is
Are you fighting your demons down there? What's going on?
There's a fly.
So yes.
I mean, yes, always.
I just saw a hand
and
like...
also, it's in the form of a fly today, so... And Blondie hasn't killed it yet.
She's slacking on the bug killing.
I know, I was gonna say,
For shame.
Tisk.
She's rebelling because of the diet.
I can
Not
start.
even working. It's like,
I know! Aegon's isn't
Whatever.
either. Aegon just keeps getting fatter and fatter, and I'm like, I don't know what to do
she's
with
like
you, bro.
13 pounds. I don't know.
All right, never
13!
mind, it's fine.
Aegon's up to 25 now, and
Jeez.
the vet is very disappointed in me, and I'm like, be very disappointed in him. I don't know what to tell you.
Switching topics.
Yes.
I'm Brianna. I play Cynthia Evans, otherwise known as Echo. And I think that Cynthia would probably prefer a mountain because she'd hollow it out and build a base inside of it. Personally, me, I like oceans. I like to sit by the waves, and I like to, I don't know, throw rocks at seagulls. Maybe throw french fries at seagulls if I'm feeling nice.
Depends on the day, yeah.
Never
Take
Here
a
for it.
french fry to a rock and see what happens.
Take a bunch of french fries, throw them at a group of tourists, watch
Yes.
them dance.
Yes.
This is why I love you. That's the unhinged plans that we need to have in this world.
Yes.
I'm Jenna, and I will be playing Roxy, aka Calamity. And Roxy, I'm gonna say Roxy likes oceans, because I don't know.
But
She
Likes to
grew
go
up
swimming.
by one.
That's fair.
Because her uncle took her to the beach a lot, and because he had things he had to do there, and
was he fitting people for some new shoes made of concrete,
yes.
perhaps?
There may
Hey, why
have
don't we
been
go
some-
over to that pier?
We'll go out in the water. That was very relaxing for her. cue behind her. Some guy's getting thrown in, and she's just relaxing next to the water.
I just had this mental image of like baby Roxy like making like one of those little mud pile sandcastles,
Yeah,
and in the
yes!
background you can see somebody just getting pushed off a pier.
That's
Perhaps.
exactly
Canon
probably
now.
the scene.
Hmm.
And I think, well, Jenna also likes the ocean. I've just kind of always been a water person. You know, you can ask my mom what a challenge it was to get me out of the pool or lake or whatever we were swimming in. But anyways, also the ocean's eating billionaires, which, you know, we were supposed to be doing, eating the rich, but, you know, we've been slacking, so the ocean is on it. So the orcas are sinking the yachts. You
I
know.
forgot about that.
And it's one petty orca that taught the other orcas to do it. And her name is White Gladys, the grandma matriarch orca. And I'm her biggest fan. I'm not going to lie.
Become ungovernable.
Oh.
Become ungovernable.
I guess I'll go next. I'm Tess. I play Sylvie, aka Valkyrie, and I think, especially after the seaweed incident, Sylvie likes mountains slightly more because of bad memories.
Until that base, like, has all kinds of, like, booby traps, and we forget about one of them.
Yeah, there's also that. But Tess is definitely a water girl, so
Yeah.
oceans for me.
Woohoo!
I'm Maria. I play Elena, aka Easy Living. Elena's probably an ocean girl, you know, nice day at the beach with the girlfriends kind of thing.
Aww.
Saltwater is itchy.
Mhm.
I will swim in the Great Lakes all day long. I'm not going in the ocean. It's itchy. But I'm not climbing up a mountain. So if my option is to sit there, I would rather sit in a ski lodge, I guess, with like tea or something.
Fair.
If there's no ski lodge and I have to scale a mountain, I will sit on the beach.
The last time
Can't
Maria was in
Elena
a ski lodge, she followed me around unknowingly and then sent pictures of myself to me that she took
Yeah,
while I
that's right.
wasn't paying attention.
I remember
Didn't
that.
announce herself or say hi.
Is that when you were talking? You were playing? Yeah, that was at GaryCon.
Or Gary Con.
You
We
guys
were
accidentally
sitting
ended up at
across the
this-
chalet from Jenna. We could hear her.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds like Jenna over there.
I do
Why
have a
am I
very
not surprised you
hearable
could hear
voice.
Jenna?
Yeah.
To give context, my mom is half deaf, so I had to grow up to be hearable, or nobody ever heard me. So, you know,
Become ungovernable.
become ungovernable. Like, watch this. I'll find the exact tone and pitch that will get everybody's attention.
Get her some glass.
Yes. Become Black Canary.
Yes.
Yes.
That's how you do it.
Yes,
You believe
absolutely.
that leaves me here?
Yes.
Hello everyone, I am Mr. Crow, alternatively just Crow, and I will again be playing Joe Hatathli, aka Coyote. Joe, definitely mountains. The idea of, like, a good hike, that sounds like fun to Joe. I do think Joe is, like, morbidly afraid of the ocean.
Joe's also a wolf, you know, so mountains make sense.
Yeah, that's
True.
their natural habitat. They're not really like
But-
ocean dogs or anything, you know.
But also, he grew up in Arizona and lived in, like, the interior of the US for most of his life. I think large bodies of water are unknown and largely frightening to him.
I mean, if you really think really hard about the ocean, it is kind of terrifying because
Oh,
we
yeah.
don't actually know like a ton of the stuff that's there. But like, I try not to think about things like that too much, and because whatever.
Which is why Crow is an ocean person, because I freaking hate climbing. I climbed a mountain once in San Diego, never freaking again. It was so awful. And I freaking love the ocean, especially around Florida. It's just so beautiful out here, and it's so mellow.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna be perfectly honest, the idea of deep sea creatures is really intriguing to me. I know a lot of people are terrified by them, but I'm just like, cool.
I mean, if
So
I have to
you're
get
into
eaten by
tentacles.
something, a random weird creature from the deep is probably circle of life. You know, whatever.
There's a fish with a transparent head so it can keep its eyeballs on the inside.
I'll take
It's
my
awesome.
chances with the alligator.
What if the alligator also has a transparent head, so it keep its eyeballs on the inside?
I'm here for it.
Hmm.
I support that alligator in his endeavors.
That actually maybe wouldn't be too. No, actually, they sort of camo with their heads. So that might be a problem.
Yeah, you
But
don't
only, like,
see how
the
small
alligator
their
is transparent.
fucking brains are.
I don't know. Add it to the San Sebastian games.
Yeah, it's fine.
Spoiler.
The man who uses the alligator as a weapon. Yeah. I
Rob
can see
something. I don't know.
the one of us from Florida coming up with that concept for sure.
His villain name is actually just Florida Man.
Yeah, Florida man. Yeah,
He can only do things that have happened in Florida and ended up as a Florida Man joke.
absolutely,
I did consider a
You have a lot to
Florida
work with
Man-esque character,
absolutely.
but ultimately I didn't go for it because I was like, I don't know if I want to have a hero who does cocaine. That seems a little too much.
I'm here for it.
It's the superpower.
That's how you get really fast.
Oh no. Oh no.
With the power of cocaine.
Oh no.
I just sent a reel to Marina about this.
Gotta go fast.
Alrighty. On the D20, I rolled a 6, so no team this week. You have 5 team.
Alright.
Recap, the one I wrote is very short because I don't really remember much of what happened last time.
We were all dissociating from the hellscape
So,
that is
yeah, so
reality.
much dissociation.
Previously on Jukebox Justice, the team went face to face with an apparent god named Icarus after Halcyon had a lot more crime and fights breaking out thanks to some rough and unseasonable heat.
Just another
Lena.
mediocre white guy trying to with a god complex.
Oh yeah, I used my
Yeah.
my moment of
Yeah.
truth.
3
Yeah,
different
we had
people had
the
god
We Are the
complexes
God
last
now.
time.
And you
Yeah.
made him a statue, which is so iconic. Just like that's very Medusa of you, you know? And I really appreciate that.
I thought we made him dust.
You did make a dust.
He turned
I
into
mean, but
dust.
first we
Yeah.
made him a statue. And then we made him dust.
Ah,
And then he flew away like his glitter friends. Which
What?
Pretty
Is
sure he
this-
just disintegrated.
Oh, that says tilt. Okay.
no regrets.
Elena also
Alright?
saw visions of doom
Mhm.
amidst
Yeah.
all of this, which, she's not dealing with.
I
Yeah.
told the group.
She
That's
told
how
the
I'm-
group and then she
that's how I'm
dissociated
dealing with
heavily.
it.
I guess communication's the first step to dealing with it.
I mean,
yeah.
if nobody else knows
Question
there's a
mark?
problem, then nobody else can help you solve the problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did your light just go out?
This is probably more stressful for Joe than anybody else because now he knows all of these terrible things that might happen, and everyone else is like, la la la, we're not dealing with this.
Speaking of Joe,
Even Roxy's joined in the dissociation at
Yeah.
this point. She's just like, all right, we've reached the limit of what Roxy DeMarco can deal with. We're gonna have a little dissociation vacation.
Oh yeah, Roxy's blonde now.
All right, we are
Oh, yeah.
16
Oh, she
minutes
is
in.
blonde.
Recap.
Oh, that should be in the recap too. Roxy's now blonde
That's true.
Roxy as well.
and taller than Elena and Cynthia. Not taller
Cynthia's
than.
short as fuck.
I know Roxy was smaller than
Didn't
Cynthia
take
originally.
much. But Coyote also seemed to unlock more of his powers and learned that he can now communicate with Flynn.
Oh,
And
yeah,
the rest of the
that's
team
right.
can't.
Oh, yeah.
So that was fun.
And he's got a blue tongue when he does it.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
he
at least
can
we'll
spy
know.
on people, and Cynthia was moving some questionable things around. And yeah. That happened. So I think how we
So
sort of
we're
left
still
off-
not at 100%
We also had-
communication, you know?
We also had a visit from Rewind, I believe.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
did.
Briefly.
Rewind
Yeah.
was trying to stop the Iron Maiden Rivette fight and got
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Where they
Flat.
apparently unmasked each other in different
Yeah.
time.
Mission accomplished, but I will say that Roxy's a little miffed that Iron Maiden didn't help with the battle against the God.
God.
And that's how she's gonna call him. God from now on. The God.
But I believe we left off where everyone kind of just went to bed.
I think there was a giant cuddle puddle in
Yes,
the middle of the room, and
Joe attempted to
Sounds about right.
surreptitiously join it and was yoinked in.
Yep.
they did not have a
He was
choice.
like, I'll just hang out on the outer edges, and we were just like, no, you're fuzzy
reach-
and warm.
Reach the event horizon. There's no escaping.
You've joined the black hole of Cuddle Puddle. You may not escape.
He is basically
Resistance
like
is futile.
Mm-hmm.
he is basically a second Sylvie for fluffiness and warmth for everyone
Yes.
else.
Uh-huh.
But we can say
Cuts
morning
down on our
comes,
needs for blankets.
you can all wake up. What you gonna do? You have some time to do your own thing before I throw more bullshit at you.
Thank you for letting us know that we have this much time to before the bullshit counter has started. Please tell me how you're going to use your time.
Cynthia's turning on the news to catch the follow-up from the fight to make sure there isn't anything else going on immediately.
Basic news recap is seems that the heat wave has broken back to ideal temperatures for the winter season. There was a lot of petty crime that people are cleaning up, but other than that, things are pretty okay.
Thank you.
Does that seem to
Braxy's
be,
gonna make breakfast for everybody. She's
does that seem
making
to be on an
omelets.
international level, or is it just Halcyon?
It seems that across the globe, things have stabilized.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
Once again, we saved the world.
It won't be the last time.
From a mediocre white man. Hashtag life goals.
Well.
I feel like as Joe is in the process of getting up, sort of like looks at Flint. Can you still talk?
Indeed, I can. Did you need something?
You want some Fruit Loops?
Wait, were Fruit Loops invented?
I feel like Fruit Loops are a thing by this
I
point.
think
Just
we
kidding, it's fine.
have
It doesn't
Googled
matter.
this. Cereal.
Quick! Maria, tell us if Fruit Loops were invented yet.
You would definitely have grape nuts, cornflakes, maybe Frosted Flakes by now.
Fruit
But I
Loops
don't know.
1963.
First came out,
Yeah.
It wouldn't be very colorful yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We're
Frosted
still-
Flakes.
Yeah.
You want some Frosted Flakes?
Why not?
They're from Michigan.
I feel like
You're
Joe would
right.
sit down, like with a bowl of Frosted Flakes, and just as he's watching the news with Cynthia, is just like feeding every other cornflake to Flint.
Aw.
There's a few crumbs that trickle down your shoulder, your shirt.
Freya?
Freya is potentially grabbing Spuds.
Yeah, we sent her on a mission.
Hello, precious.
Where's Precious doing?
Here.
New stuff.
I love you,
Upsetting.
Precious. She can't hear me, but she understands that I love her.
Any sign of Freya, or is she still...
Not currently.
Hmm.
Not around.
Currently doing cat things.
Yeah.
And Sylvie is like, you do you. I told you to do something. We'll see if it actually happens.
You gave her a task. She will complete the task on her own timelines.
Yeah, that is also true.
Yeah.
If anyone has something they want to do, go ahead and do it, because I do have an idea for a conversation between Joe and Cynthia, but I always feel like I'm dominating roleplay, so please, someone else do it.
Quit doming the roleplay, man.
Please, Dolores, take the lead for once.
I knew that was coming.
Sorry. Had to make
Presumably
it
so
awkward
did
for
the
Crow.
roleplay Dom.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, Daddy.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
Leave meeting.
That's the reasonable reaction.
That's fair.
Sorry, it's been a
Should
week.
we just end it there tonight?
That's it. Thanks for
That's
joining
it,
us
yeah.
this week. We'll see you next week.
That's the episode. Good to see you all. May you not have any life apocalypses. That's the correct plural term, right? Okay. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Apocalypse.
Bye.
Apocalypse.
If anyone else out there have Samsung Galaxy S10s, I'm so sorry.
I don't have one anymore.
What? I used to have one.
Be glad you don't right now.
Oh,
Okay.
it broke in the car accident when my brain almost exploded.
I have like an S22 or whatever.
They don't make. Do they make the S? Oh no, I had the active one because I'm
Anyway.
clumsy,
Not
so I had to
important
get
right
some
now.
other version of that.
Moving on.
Yes.
Anyways,
I want to go ask Cynthia what she thinks of these terrible, terrible visions. Because I need to talk to a smart person, and she's probably right now the second smartest person. Oh, well, no, Hecate. Third smartest person I know.
Don't tell her that.
No,
ooh,
well,
Hecate is the third smartest person she knows.
her dad's smart. Jurgen's smart. He works at a science
So
lab.
is he number one? I need to know the lineup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably in cases of apocalyptic visions.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he might be one.
yeah, that's fair.
But she's not just gonna cold call Hecate. Like, I've been seeing the death of the universe. What do you think about that?
What does
Why
blue taste
not?
like?
The rest of us would
I
do
was about
that.
to say,
The rest of
Sylvie
you
would
would do
totally
that.
do that for you.
That's true.
So before she has Sylvie do that, she'll go ask Cynthia.
Remind me what you saw.
Oh, just the whole meteors, the destruction of the known universe, the Earth tilting and cracking, the moon flying away, getting knocked out of its orbit.
Do you know why?
No clue.
Okay.
Oh, and I had one of Jurgen in the lab, but there were stars in his eyes.
Do I know Jurgen's name at this point?
I feel like she would have told everybody by now.
Okay.
It's been a months? Question mark.
Probably months. Couple months.
What do you mean, stars in his eyes?
Well, like little, like I could see the galaxies in his eyes,
Oh,
and not in like romantic movie like the ones that Coyote like to watch. I see the stars in your eyes, kind of thing. They have those lines in westerns.
Roxy
Can't
just
prove that.
offing from the kitchen. Sorry, I had a tickle.
Have you ever asked him if he has powers of any sort?
Oh, I probably should though, huh?
If you do, let me know what he says.
I do have I have a tether to him, right? I do have a tether to him, but that could mean anything because we all have tethers to each other.
Did your mom have powers at all?
Not that I know of.
Well, these things aren't always genetic, but I'd start with him. Some of the things you described could be linked to gravity or gravity manipulation.
Yeah.
So, if he has insights, it might be good to start there.
Yeah, it's a good place to start. It's
When
not
you're-
really. There's a whole lot out there.
There is, but when you're dealing with power at the scale that you have it, I think it'd be better to cross that off the list first. It's the thing most directly within your control.
Yeah. I will ask him next work day. Work day. I work. Yeah. Next
When will
day I
that
go
be?
in. I don't know. Whenever I go in next.
Insert time and date
Yeah.
here.
Within the next couple of days.
Thursday at 11 a.m.
All right.
Well, Lena
I'm
doesn't show
just
up on time.
Mm-mm.
thinking about some of the visions you've had before.
Yeah.
They do seem to represent, in some of them, a potential overclocking of your powers.
They've been happening more now, but they have at least have not just sprung up because of the contact.
Okay, well, how do you feel lately in terms of your powers?
I mean, sometimes they're a little overwhelming. That last I don't think I should call it a fight because it really wasn't a fight, for me. I just kind of turned that man into dust.
That I've seen you hold buildings together, but that
Yeah.
was a level of power I haven't seen from you yet. I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility that you could be getting more powerful or unlocking more of the powers that exist within you.
Yeah, maybe there's some kind of planetary alignment that matters for all of that.
Mercury's in retrograde.
So, yeah, something is in the microwave.
The microwave, yeah.
Mercury is in the microwave.
Mercury is in the microwave,
Don't
and
put the
Cynthia
mercury
told
in
me
the
we can't do
microwave,
that
it's
no more.
toxic.
That blew up the microwave before, and apparently was a or was a hazard or something of some sort.
Keep Mercury
Out there,
away from
please.
microwaves. That was a joke.
Yeah, I was about to say, please, for the love of
Do not
God,
microwave metals.
mercury.
Do not
No, no.
microwave mercury.
Don't touch mercury.
It's in like
Don't
aluminum
try
foil.
this at home. Well,
Eat aluminum foil.
delicious.
For legal purposes, this is all a joke.
Well, keep an eye on how you're feeling and keep me in the loop.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was all I had. Until my next workday.
I have anything immediate that would take place in this moment. Sylvie did promise to show Cynthia something with the key, but
I think that's a later thing.
yeah, that's definitely a later thing.
I feel like Joe wasn't sitting too far away from this conversation in the first place. I feel like he'd sort of sit like on the opposite end of the couch from Cynthia and be like, So, I have a bunch of new things.
Okay, walk me through it.
Okay. Well, there's this. Produces the black flame again.
We walked through that during our last session.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was like a questioning, sort of.
So there's the fire, talking with Flint, weather control, I think, and looking at really far things. I don't know what to call that.
Scrying?
Sure.
Unless it's like astral projection or something. Did you feel like you were physically there?
No. It was like watching TV.
Well, I couldn't fucking see you, so probably not astral projection. So, I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility to see the echoes with the mythology.
Heh. Sorry.
I didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, this could, like, help, right?
Anything can help as easily as it can hurt. Powers are a tool.
Yeah. And historically, mine have come with a personality of their own.
Sometimes that's just the way of it. Would you like to practice to get more control? Or
Yes,
to find
please.
out if that's an option?
Yes, absolutely. That's kind of where I was working towards here. But
course.
also, I don't have any doubt in my mind that this is gonna, like, be insanely cool to Henry. Because, you know, when this first started, we kind of bonded over just, like, figuring out what the hell I could do.
To clarify, you think this will or won't be insanely cool to her?
Well, I mean, this
Well,
is kind of what she said this in
considering
college.
above the table, did I see that Coyote and Henry had a bit of a argument before she left? I don't think I would have, but
I don't think so. I mean, as far as Joe's currently concerned, they're on, like, neutral to good terms, kinda?
I mean, I think you would know that Joe went to try and stop Henry. And maybe we're aware of the scuffle of that in the heat of battle. And I don't remember when Joe called Henry on the comms after to be like, "You good?"
I mean, from what I remember, Joe failed a pierce the mask roll with her or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. In character, not knowing that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you two have been on better terms lately, haven't you?
Yeah, but also she kind of just went through all that with her mom, and, like...
I probably shouldn't be the person you go to for dating advice.
I wasn't trying to do that. I'm just saying that, like, if we do experimentation, should probably involve her, but also I don't know what state she's in.
Why don't you start with giving her a little bit of time to cool down
Yeah.
and see where she's at? I'm not opposed to her being there for practicing this.
It's, it's just at the same time, if I can help with what's coming up now, I want to be able to help.
We could also start practicing sooner.
Yeah.
How about a compromise? Have someone else on the team check in on her. There's less baggage there. We'll see where she's at. And if you like, we can let her know what's going on with you. It's your choice in the end of the day, whatever you want to do. Personally, I wouldn't recommend you being the one to call her this soon after it happened, but you know her better than I do.
I was kind of hoping maybe it'd be you, but it's okay.
If you like, I can do that. But I need to know what you do and don't want me to tell her.
Tell her about what's going on. I mean, that's kind of how I got into this whole mess, is not telling her.
I'd agree with that.
I could always just, like, tactically deploy Roxy.
For now, let's start with just the information. We can move on to the charm offensive if needed.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
are
at least-
you feeling?
Is yes an answer? I feel like I'm feeling everything.
I think that's fair.
Because, like, on one hand, Elena's got, like, daily reports of the end of the world now, which is not great, I'm guessing. Same time, don't really know what we would do about that.
Well, it
But,
depends what the exact problem is. I don't think we quite know at the moment.
and then there's what's going on with Sylvie, which I felt really ill-equipped for, given, I was already kind of, like, sensitive to what she can do, let alone what the rest of the Fae can do, but now all of a sudden I've got all this power, which is cool. Like, really cool. But also, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I think you'll find that's the case with most people.
Say that. And I believe that for Roxy.
Okay.
But, like, she makes it work unbelievably well.
Well, maybe practicing with her would do you some good. There's a skill set that comes with being able to react on the fly.
And then the rest of y'all, I mean, aside from the occasional slip, you all have... Maybe it's a little gauche to say this so soon after Mr. Angel Man, but like, you, Sylvie, Elena, could practically be gods.
I'm not sure I'd go that far with me. But Elena and Sylvie, maybe.
I mean, heck, even as much as she does it on the fly, Roxy seems to have any power she needs.
It's a useful skill to have. For what it's worth. With the scale at which your powers have been ramping up, you might be a contender for that title.
And there's that. Which, given how much I've managed to screw things up without powers, like you guys have, I'm not too positive on my chances.
Well, for what it's worth, I think you've grown. You're a lot different than you were when I first met you. You're more cognizant of your strengths and your weaknesses. You're a little bit more responsible. You're more open to communicating.
Bit more furry.
That's immaterial, though. What matters, she's gonna poke him in the chest, is how you handle the rest of it. No pressure.
Oh no, it's just 6 different variations of the end of world. What pressure could there possibly be?
How long have you been in Halcyon?
A few years now, but gonna be honest, running around with you a lot has felt like 10.
I'm gonna choose to take that as a compliment. Well, if you wanted to learn how to roll with the punches a little bit better, sink or swim.
Well, apparently I float, so...
Oh, that's a good compromise.
Oh shit, can I fly?
Maybe.
So, like, looks at Flint.
Don't try it in here.
Okay.
Just in case it, like, if you can fly by, say, using fire to propel yourself. Not good for a hotel room or apartment building.
Safe house, yeah.
Yeah.
You see a little glint in Joe's eye as he had not even considered that.
How about this? As far as I can tell, the impending threats will not be impending today. If that changes, we can change our plans. But tell me if I'm wrong, but I think you'd feel better if we got some practice in.
Yes.
I'll talk to Henry. We'll see what she's doing. But either way, see if we can help you get a little more control over this.
No more exploding buildings, please.
Preferably not. Unless you're intending to explode them.
I really don't know what situation I would want to explode a building in.
Well,
That's, like,
if there's no civilians in the
communist
building
something.
and you have an enemy who's mostly invulnerable, you can drop building on them to slow them down.
Could also become a demolition expert. Not that Cynthia can understand that.
I love Flint's asides.
Okay. That's something.
You've got a versatile set of powers you're working with. Half the battle in this heroing thing is knowing how to use them. Creativity goes a long way.
Yeah.
Like, think of someone like Iron Maiden. She can turn to metal. Compare her to Henry, who has the same power set. If it were me, I'd put more money on Henry knowing how to figure out different ways to use that, and not just seeing everything as a nail and herself as a hammer.
Well, that's because... You know what? I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Okay.
Sort of leans in a little conspiratorially, sort of glancing at the window. Well, that's because Henry has a brain and her mom doesn't.
Indeed. Versatility, though, and having a brain, both of those are important. And considering you're not lacking either, I think we can work with this.
Uh, Thank you. Wow.
If I thought you didn't have a brain, I wouldn't let you on this fucking team.
I mean, I've got enough self-awareness to know that I'm occasionally on Roxy's level at times, and, like...
Roxy also has a brain. She sometimes just uses it in different ways from the rest of us.
And I'm guessing same applies to me.
Well, it's what you make of it. Think about when you were coaching a team. Did you have players who were obstinate, couldn't learn, refused to learn, couldn't get along well with others, and refused to try?
Yeah, they got kicked off the team.
Indeed.
Oh.
We work as a team. If part of the team doesn't work, we either find a way to fix it, or we remove the part that doesn't work.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I think, regardless of when this gets going, I should probably, like, get you my research, or whatever the heck I've been doing to the guest house. I'll go get that.
What have you been doing in the guest house?
I've been trying to brainstorm like how the heck this stuff works, and like I read back over some of the things I write, and I'm just like, what in the hell did I even?
Okay, that
I don't
should
know.
help.
This has got my brain tied in knots.
Well, 5 brains are better than one. We'll figure it out. And for what it's worth, I appreciate you trusting us with this.
Well, yeah, we're a team, right?
We are. I'm just glad we're all on the same page about that.
Took a little bit.
Unless there's some other crisis today, which, quite frankly, I am not ruling out yet. We should probably get going soon. Get some food, do some stretches.
I already ate and stretched. I think I'm gonna go ahead and head out.
All right.
Need to get my
Do you have a
dog in
time
here.
you want to start?
Should probably do it sometime in the evening.
Sure.
I think my old workout gear is still at the junkyard. If we want to try that.
I was thinking the junkyard. It's far enough out of the way that it shouldn't be a problem. If it starts to become a problem, we can always move outside of the city limits.
True. True.
Okay. I'll call Henry. You get going. Meet you there this evening?
Sure. Sure.
All right. If you do find a crisis, please just call me.
Okay. And Joe will go to the window, clamber out, and start sneaking his way back to the estate. Wondering the whole time if he can fly.
I love it.
Okay. So Joe's gone for the moment. The rest of you?
Roleplay, the rest of you go.
Cynthia kind of is just sitting where she was and looks a little lost in thought.
Okay.
Maybe a little worried.
Was that me? Sorry.
There's a noise.
That was me.
I'm not entirely sure.
That was me. My computer
Nobody
was like,
knows where the noises are coming from. Like my
complete your
brain.
linking setup, and I'm just like, no, go away.
Roxy would like to go visit her family.
Okay. They'd be happy to see you, and you can. There's plenty of food around, so you can.
Yeah. Well, she's gonna
Lots.
tell them that she has a new face and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, there's a little surprise, but I mean, your family's been good about rolling with the punches and everything so far, so it's just like easier to tell you apart.
And Joe wonders why Roxy's so adaptable.
Don't have to get you name tags anymore.
Or have you wear different colored shirts or anything, you know? Has Tony come back yet? Is he still on his adventures around the country on his motorcycle?
He's still on his adventures.
Yeah.
Seems
Ah.
they do have an update. Seems he called recently and might be making his way back a bit pretty soon.
Ooh,
I mean, it was always going to
that's
be an
good.
eventuality, but you know, might be another month or two before he's back in town.
Mm-hmm. That's good. So is Uncle Polly around?
Yeah, he's probably having coffee with Pops. Papa DeMarco.
Yeah. So I was going to talk to him about potentially working for him in his construction business. I think I would be good at demolition. I need some purpose in my life. I feel like I'm
Are you
floundering a little.
are you saying this directly to
Yes.
Uncle Polly, or was this like, "Hey Ma,
Yes.
where's Uncle Polly because of
Yeah, yeah,
XYZ?"
yeah. Yeah, she's talking to her mom.
Okay. Oh,
But
well,
also loud enough that they can hear.
glad you interested in trying some new things.
Yeah.
And then she just turns over and says, "Hey, Polly, what do you think about maybe taking Roxy around for a job or two?" And he's just like, "Oh, interested in getting involved with the family business? Yeah, we can do a few things."
Yeah. I was thinking I have specific skill sets in like demolition. I'm really good at you know, crumbling buildings in a very quick manner. I have other skills too. But you know, construction might be a good thing for me to do, you know?
Yeah, I can check the books and see if we have anything lined up for this week.
Yeah.
So,
I can lift heavy shit and there's yeah. It would give me something to do, you know? Everybody else has got their own stuff going on and ever since Tony went on his vacation, you know, I guess I could fix cars still, but maybe I need to like branch out a little. You know? Try
it's
some other stuff.
helpful to have a diverse skill set.
Absolutely.
But yeah, if you
Well,
want, just I can see what we've got lined up, and if you want to swing by a few days, we can
sure. Sure.
see if there's a spot on a crew for you.
Absolutely. You know, also, my face has changed. I might need a different identity, so I'm gonna have to talk to somebody about that at some point. All right. We'll meet then. I don't know what name we're gonna use because now there's two Roxy Demaco. I don't know. I don't know about all this paperwork shit and
I got a buddy in civil service. Can help us
perfect.
out here.
Perfect.
Let me know what you want on the papers, and we can get it sorted.
All right. I'll think of a name or something, you know. Maybe something similar so I can remember it. And you know, we'll go from there. That way, you know, Roxy, I appreciate her sharing her identity, but you know, it's good. Now she can have that one back, and we won't get mistaken for each other, and you know, yeah. All right. Wow, she gives everybody hugs and stuff,
Yeah.
and is just kind of like.
Mama DeMarco was just like, "Oh, here, take some breakfast with you. Oh, wait, I've got some pastries and scones. Oh, wait, how about some cookies?"
Yeah, Roxy's just like got her hands full on the way
Yep.
out. And then I think she'll spend a little time like shopping for some clothing in her size, because that's also she hasn't really done anything else with her money. Since she's just been living at Cynthia's. I think she's just been storing up her money for a while. So not that she's like rich, but she's not. She's got some money left over from all the work she's done, so she's gonna go buy some new clothes in the correct sizes. And probably I would say that she probably brought a bunch of her clothes for Roxy because they're not gonna fit no more. Especially all the jeans and things like that.
Okay. Alrighty. So that is what Roxy's doing. Or not Roxy.
Yeah.
Going to not be Roxy.
She's still gonna go by Roxy. She's gonna try to pick a name that can be shortened to Roxy.
Roxanne.
Yeah?
Yep.
All right.
Roxana instead of Roxanne,
Roxana. Okay.
We changed one vowel. Woohoo!
We'll
Did
say, wow. Roxy and Joe are out. The rest of you are sitting in
Mm-hmm.
the safe house. There is a nice little flash of light and the smell of roasted potatoes, and Spuds Mackenzie in all his glory is there with Freya sitting on his shoulder.
Yes.
Yes.
And it just says, well, I heard you needed a house call. Here I am.
We wanted to verify that the weird weather patterns were clearing up outside of Halcyon as well. As far as we were informed, it was a worldwide phenomenon, and we don't really have a way of verifying that stuff is clearing up or what exactly caused it. We were hoping to compare notes if possible.
Well, everything seems to be back in balance, as far as I can tell.
Were other major cities attacked by entities? Or was that just Halcyon in the past 24 hours or so?
I've not heard any reports of other cities being attacked. Can't really... Not something I can really gauge at this point whether there was or wasn't.
But your home was not, as far as you're aware?
As far as I know.
Cynthia preserved some of the dust, right?
She tried. So if the dust didn't disintegrate, she's got some of it.
Yeah.
But if it did, then
How did you store it?
she probably would have gone with like
File?
she's got like vial like sample sorta.
Okay. Yeah, I think you pull out the vial to look at it, and it is empty.
Well, I can give you a description since apparently this stuff just disintegrated.
Yeah. Countered some.
Take a look. I mean, maybe there's some sort of trace on the vial that we just can't see with the naked eye.
She'll hand it over.
We'll take it.
I guess we'll describe the strange angelic beings in Icarus and his lovely god complex and how he turned to dust.
Yeah, Elena will describe how she fixed the problem.
Well, that's certainly interesting.
Little out of the norm, even for Halcyon.
Perhaps a bit. I mean, without knowing all the details, just from how you've described him, I'd hazard a guess that it wasn't any sort of human with those kinds of powers.
Seems unlikely. But the definition of what is human is a little malleable.
You do have a point. I could always reach out to Tex and see if maybe he has some idea of if there's been a case like this before.
A broader base of experience would be helpful.
Yeah.
We have records of this sort of temperature affecting powers, but the potential emotional manipulation hasn't traditionally come with it.
I can see what I can find out.
I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Anything else you need from me?
And she'll like look at Sylvie and just be like, I don't know anything.
I don't think Sylvie has any further questions. It was more so to gain as much info or have another pair of eyes looking out for this Icarus and his ilk, trying to determine if there's multiple groups going about this or if this was one isolated group.
All right. And he'll help Frey get down from his shoulder and let's just say I'll report in if I find anything.
Much appreciated.
Thank you.
And he disappears in another little flash of light and smoke. The
And
smell of
potatoes.
roasted potatoes still lingers.
Yes.
Yep.
How are you feeling?
A little adrift, if I'm being fully honest. Confused.
That's
Wondering
fair.
what Icarus was. It's just another puzzle on top of everything else.
Do you have a suspicion?
Not quite.
He turned
It's-
into Glitter. Maybe he is Faye.
No. That is the only real connection we have at this point.
Faye can shapeshift. Or can all Faye shapeshift, or is that a you thing?
It's certain types, but we do mimic other entities and other mythoses of human nature. So the
Alright.
fact that Icarus appeared again is something to be wary of.
Yeah.
And the angelic forms themselves.
Well, it was certainly a choice.
Yeah, and I wouldn't run it past my people to be that brash. Or
That's fair.
arrogant.
Well. Okay. I don't want to. She'll kind of glance down at Sylvie's hand that's got the thing spreading on it. I don't want to leave this alone for too long. It seems like it's getting worse.
It is escalating, but as much as it is, a world-ending vision might take slight precedence. It's escalating at a steady rate versus,
Yeah. We don't know when the other thing's going to happen.
yes.
My worry is that if it's too complicated to solve in a short time, we'll be worse off for not having started sooner. But I also don't know how to solve this one.
I might have a couple places we can raid for information. I remember
Well.
a couple old storehouses, but it'll take time and I can't guarantee what's necessarily linked in them.
Well, you're our expert in this area, but whatever help you need from me, just let me know.
I will. And perhaps we'll stumble upon something. We've done
Hopefully.
it before.
Equal measures lucky and unlucky.
Yes.
I guess it balances out.
We are truly living in interesting times.
Don't say that.
If we can't say that, I
Unprecedented.
don't know who else can. So
I would like to stop living through historical
It's like
events.
going
Thank you.
outside and saying, at least it's not raining. Okay. One thing at a time. Joe wants us to meet us at him at the junkyard later today for practice. I told him I'd call Henry and broker peace, I suppose.
It might be a good idea to test those waters. Everyone
Yeah.
was a little heated in our last confrontation.
Did you see what happened? I wasn't in that part of the fight.
I was not exactly in the best state of mind at that point.
That's also fair. Okay. Well,
I might have escalated things
oh,
if he was within that range. Not entirely sure.
all right. Well, I'll give it a shot. She's not my ex, though, so hopefully that'll help.
Ideally, yes. You're a
Okay.
fellow academic and pure, so that also might help.
Hypothesis. You have a complicated relationship with your ex-boyfriend.
Test will be throwing him off buildings to see if he can fly.
Yes. Oh my
And
God.
being okay with it.
All right. Let's see how this goes. I've been out of the loop for a bit. Do you know if Henry's still staying in the dorms or?
I believe we broke her out of the dorms at one point, so not
Okay.
sure. I don't think she's at home though.
No, that'd be a bad idea. I mean, she might be, but that'd be a
I
bad
think
idea.
she's smart enough not to be at home.
I'd agree with that, but sometimes anger can override smarts.
I mean, we do have our own communicator, so
Yeah, the plan's to just call her first.
that is also true.
I've
Just
had
be
my share
careful
of.
of her dorm mom. She's kind of scary.
In what way?
I mean, we did break into her dorm. I don't think she really likes us.
Ah, well. I'll just go through the window.
Valid.
Sneaking into the window of a girl I'm not dating. That's not a new one, but it's a little strange.
A little, but we're kind of in the realm of strange at this point.
Yeah, doesn't even really make the bar.
Not really, no.
All right. Well, I'm gonna call her. We've got a day to, I don't know, do something with.
Well, if you have a little free time later and feel like sneaking into the room of a girl you're dating, I do have something to show you.
To clarify, is that a proposition or a thing you were talking about earlier? Or both?
Both.
Okay. I may take you up on that. All right. Later, though. I need to go deal with someone else's relationship before I deal with mine.
That's fair.
Right.
And she'll head off, but for sure she'll give her a quick kiss. Yes, that was cute.
Okay. Before you get to chatting with Henry, I think that's a good spot to take our break. So, be back here in 10 minutes for more drama.
Yeah.
Hey, this might come out as total madness, but just wait. I really need to tell you something. 'Cause I feel alone in a room, surrounded by people I
looking at you. I'm trying to get your attention. Can I come close? I don't know how to play this. Our hands touch once or twice, feeling kind of hypnotized. I'm looking at you and I feel the tension. You know, this could be like heaven. I am right here, doing my best to make you feel like I do. And just for a second, you're looking at me, making me feel like maybe you want this too. Give me your attention. I'm trying to breathe, but the air feels just like water. You're making me weak now. What doesn't kill you makes you. Our hands touch once or twice. We should let them intertwine. I'm looking at you and I feel the tension. You know, this could be like heaven. I am right here, doing my best to make you feel like I do. And just for a second, show me life, show me love, make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love, show me life, show me love, make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me love, show me love. This is all we got. Show me show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. Show me life. Show me love. This is all we got. Sometimes life will push you down, make you fall on.
80-foot tall wolf sitting right in front of us. You had just had a wolf inside of you, like literally inside of you, but not like in a fun way, but like in a not fun way. And
What
you
is
know,
the fun way?
No.
ask
it is-
Henry.
Oh, you're not
elaborate.
That's a different thing.
Yeah.
This is not that kind of campaign.
No.
You're not playing Monster
That's for
Hearts.
monsters.
Oh.
And they're just like, no, it's bags. I'm just like,
And you have to say it like that too.
Bags.
The that's a very Wisconsin dialect thing. Bags.
It's just cornhole.
Bags. Well,
Touch.
no, it's like ladder golf is not ladder golf here. It's testy toss. It's different because it's from Wisconsin, and we're all drunk.
Pause.
We're all drunk while we do it.
Like, oh no, my phone. Well, looks like I only have you to talk to, Salvatore.
Is that a threat?
That's a promise.
Is it perfect?
And that is the garbage plate, which I had to look this up because I forgot everything that goes in one. I've never eaten one. The fact that I know of their existence is a curse.
Yes.
A traditional plate is your choice of cheeseburger, hamburger, Italian sausages, steak, chicken, red hots, served on top of any combination of home fries, french fries, baked beans, and/or macaroni salad, and then topped with hot sauce, sometimes also topped with optional mustard and onions. It's usually served with a slice of buttered bread.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, the garbage plate.
That's
It's
going to
a
be our
very
new
apt
ladies and
name.
gentlemen, the weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, the garbage.
Sylvie were told by Natalie yet, but I think I'm changing the code name. I'm gonna be Magic Werewolf Man. Figured I'd go with Coyote.
Yep. You just hop a couple times.
Huh.
Nope.
Doesn't
Maybe
look
it's
like
the pose. Try a couple more.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Huh.
Is Elena just watching this?
it. I love it. I don't think it's
Show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. Show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life. Show me love, make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me love, show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. Show me life. Show me love. This is all we got. Sometimes life will push you down, make you fall onto the ground. But I know you will turn it around. Oh, this is all we got. And I know you'll make mistakes, get interference and lose your way. Find the light when it rains. Oh, this is all we got. Show me life, show me love, make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love, show me life, show me love, make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me love. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me love. This is all we got. Show me love.
And in a nutshell, that is yes.
Do you want to say hi now
Watch
that we're recording?
Whispers in the Mist. That's our
Yeah.
plug.
Yeah.
What's the other chaos?
We're only
game?
like 9 episodes in.
Maybe.
You can easily catch up at this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I will
but
say
you're way
this.
shorter
Catch up
than
on
these ones.
Jukebox Justice. We're only
56
56.
episodes in.
something.
56.
my notes
episodes
say
in.
55, but that doesn't mean anything.
And if
They're
you're looking
50
for something
something.
new,
These numbers were too gay for that. We don't.
Oh yeah, my notes from last time also say 55, so it don't mean anything.
I will-
we
I
said
will-
that like 5 episodes ago, so it's fine.
I'll throw this out there. I was proud of you. No characters with a death cult connection this time around. Good job.
Just for this one, then we start
Yes.
whispers
We
in the
need
mist.
to make a
and-
death
We'll
cult
see,
for
yeah.
the next thing.
No.
Excuse me, I have a tenuous tie to a death cult.
I was about to say, bold of me to
Death
assume
cult,
we don't
death
have
cult.
a tie to a death cult somewhere.
You just haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
Anyway.
my sister is in her rebellion phase.
Cynthia
I
was gonna
guess.
make a phone call. Unless you
Okay.
need to deal with a cat.
You can do both.
Maybe.
Maybe.
He's acquired a lot of energy and is doing this thing where he runs around and stops and is like vibrating.
Blondie was
So-
just doing that down here a
He's
little bit ago.
chasing ghosts. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine.
If he found a ghost, he'd probably try to eat it.
It's
So,
it's
yeah.
Ghost Mouse.
Yeah, she'll
Ghost
like
Mouse.
run around and go.
The ghost of Mouse's past. Mice's past.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Meese.
Meese. I love it.
The ghost of
Okay.
Mises past.
Phone call.
Phone call.
Phone call.
So she calls. I don't know. Henry, I guess she'll
Henry?
use the communicator since it's more likely that Henry will have the communicator than to be by any given phone. What are you doing? Calm
Making
down.
his presence known in extreme ways.
He's looking at the blinds like he's gonna try to climb them. So I'm like, no. Okay. Phone call.
Phone call.
Yeah, she calls Henry on the communicator. Echo to Henry. Or, well, I would share Cynthia to Henry properly, unless there's somebody around.
For you, I mean, you're in the safe
In the safe house. Not knowing. Yes, hi. Oh, okay, sure. Not knowing where Henry is and not wanting to use her code name if she's in civilian mode. Yeah. Cynthia to Henry.
I think there's probably a minute of silence before she responds and says, Henry here?
How are you doing?
I'm alive.
Well, that's good. What happened? I mean, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I'm trying to piece together what happened yesterday, and it just feels like I'm missing several pieces of the puzzle.
what do you remember?
People were pretty rowdy yesterday. I was trying to help. And then my mom showed up. And we just went at it.
It does seem like there was some sort of emotional manipulation power going on yesterday.
That makes sense considering how many fights people were getting into.
Yeah, just
Like,
breaking
not
them
even
up all
just-
morning,
Not even just petty crime, but just
punching in the street.
a guy looks at you the wrong way and just immediately fists are flying.
Yeah. Well, it seems to have resolved, so good signs there at least. In addition to calling to check up on you, there have been some developments with Joe. He wanted us to keep you in the loop on them.
What kind of developments?
He seems to be acquiring new powers at a rate that may or may not be exponential.
Just a long beat of silence. Huh.
Yeah,
What new powers?
well, he can talk to his lizard, and the lizard talks back. You can create fire, but like it's like black. It's weird. I don't know how that actually works in terms of light spectrum. Controlling the weather. I think he could do that one already. Hmm. I'm blanking on what the last one is. I'm sorry.
The scrying.
Yeah.
Scry.
And he can spy at people from a distance without them knowing. I
Okay.
he tried that as I understand it, accidentally activated that one on me and I yelled at him. So hopefully he won't be doing that much in the future.
You know, when you led with the he can talk to his lizard and his lizard talks back, I was about to say that doesn't really sound like a power so much as a potential conversation that needs to happen with psychologists, but
Uh, I
that
mean, for what it's worth, it still might be. I don't know. The lizard still sounds like to me.
okay. Hmm. I I mean, I've heard of cases where powers mutate, but that doesn't sound like what this is.
It seems more like unlocking. We've got a working theory that there are ties between this and some of the Navajo creation myths or stories.
Okay. Interesting. There's just a long beat of silence, and you can, if Henry was in the room, you'd probably just see the gears slowly turning in her head.
Special interest activated.
And then she probably breaks it, breaks the silence. It's like, this sort of reminds me, right? Because the initial werewolf presence in Halcyon had characteristics that didn't match other werewolves.
Plenty of them. From my understanding, from what Joe and his father have said, werewolves elsewhere are not like this at all.
Yeah, and that's sort of what is nagging at me. Because if maybe there's something tied to a belief system or just gathering powers from belief systems, because if the group in Halcyon had put a lot of thought and belief behind these concepts of what werewolves are, and that's how they manifested, it would make sense that that's possible in other cases.
Well, we'd have to see if werewolves that aren't from Halcyon and aren't Navajo function in a third way. I don't personally know any, but get Joe to talk to his dad, maybe.
Joe's dad isn't Navajo, right?
Above the table.
No, he is white.
Oh, I was operating under a misunderstanding this entire time.
Nope. Joe
Sorry.
is half and half.
Okay. Cut like half of that conversation. Well, who knows? Either way, he wants to try and get some control over the new powers. He mentioned you might want to be there for that.
Oh, Maybe. Do you need help with anything in specific?
Not per se. I'm not entirely I'm not entirely sure about the motivation. Could be emotional support. Of course, you can also say no. If it's an area of interest, I can always share the notes after that I've taken.
If you give me the time and the place, I might jump in. I think this thread of belief systems might be worth pursuing, and I'd be curious to see if there are any other heroes rooted in that that have appeared in the past.
Well, it's certainly possible. I can check the records that I and my boss have. You might also be able to find something with your academic focus.
We have, granted, what we have is not a all-encompassing record of superpowers and powered history, but I think it's as thorough as we could probably get at this point. So I could check our archives and maybe even talk to a few of the professors and see if they know.
You never know. More sources is better. I can cross-reference with what Hecate has. Mostly it's records for people she's punched in the face. But she's a collector.
Okay.
Cynthia will tell her the junkyard and then the time that they're going to be meeting.
Okay.
Stay safe.
You too.
Thank you. Chill. Cynthia out.
Henry out.
Belief systems. Later. And that's what she's got for the moment.
Okay. Anything anyone else would like to do during the day, or shall we jump to junkyard training?
Is Elena doing anything?
Not right now.
No.
Just hanging out.
I feel like Sylvie will, if Cynthia lets her, take her to the grove by the small estate then. Also bring Freya, because I think Freya's a pretty integral part of entering said grove.
That's fair.
And she'll give Cynthia the other half of the key or whatever activates it and says, so I know I was part of the initial compromising of your safe house and your base, and I wanted to repay that, and I am giving you and you alone access to this location. Brandon knows not to let anyone else in. It has the few Fey texts and artifacts that I have managed to squirrel away for research, if you wish. And there is a small library about my memories over the past however many years, and my personal journals in the back.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
That sounds like a lot.
Well, you gave up a lot for the team. It's yours to use as you see fit.
I'm honored. She'll just hug her.
Aw.
So essentially, that's the key to Sylvie's sanctuary.
I
her.
as you were talking, I'm like, I recognize some of
Yes,
these items
yep.
from the Doomed Sanctuary list
Yep, no.
for no reason whatsoever.
No, not at all. So it has, for your reference, where did I put it? A library of valuable tomes, some ancient relics, and Sylvie did steal that Fae book at one point that had interesting power notes in it. So potentially power enhancement.
Interesting.
And then also just some personal journals and stuff about like what she's experienced with the Fae. Because she knows that was something that that Cynthia was initially interested in, and knowing what the Fae were and what their intentions were. So it's Sylvie's explicit memories of what she did for the Fae. And maybe a newer journal with the little she remembers of being human.
If they are still outside at that point, or just like,
I think she probably brought her in just to show her where everything is.
Cynthia's just looking a little bemused because she's like, I was not expecting this extension of trust, but.
And it's very much a mix of like Fae realm and human world, and like with Nordic vibes. So.
And actually, she will turn to Sylvie once she's probably concluded showing her around and say, I've been having some trouble figuring out how to tell the team, mostly Roxy and Elena, but I've been in the process of moving my things out of the base. I don't feel safe there. I don't feel comfortable. And so I've been moving out. And they're not going to like it. Hell, I don't like it. But I want to be able to sleep at night. Not entirely sure why I'm telling you this, other than that you extended trust to me, and so paid in kind. I guess. Could I put some of the stuff in here? I trust your instinct for security. So.
Your stuff is more than welcome here. As I said, it's yours to use as you see fit.
It's also yours, though.
In part, but if you wish it, Freya won't even let me in.
I'm not gonna kick you out of your own place. I'm not that much of a bitch. But I do appreciate it. I know I've been a little distant lately.
We all have our own things to work through, and you've had a lot.
We all
and
have.
you shoulder a lot of everyone else's. You're allowed to need time to heal and reevaluate what you need.
It's hard to remember that sometimes.
And while the others might be hurt at first, we do have two very amazing girlfriends who, despite some of our dissociation tactics of late, are pretty well versed in mental health and processing such things.
It's just hard to feel safe sometimes, you know?
I think Sylvie looks very pointedly at her hand and then
You
agrees.
probably know better than I do. But a while back, Joe was poking me about being more open. Hypocritically.
He's learning.
Same, I suppose.
Yeah.
Doesn't come easily. But I do appreciate this. Thank you.
You're welcome. And don't push yourself. We all grow at different rates. And heck, look how many hundreds of years it took me to realize which side I was fighting for.
It's a journey.
So don't feel bad if you're not in the same spot other people are.
That's fair.
We're all willing to make space for you.
Well, prefer it if that space doesn't have our team's enemies in it.
Ideally, that is true. We'll work on that.
Well,
Take care of yourself first. Find a place where you can sleep. We can address the other issues as we move forward.
I mean, I sleep just fine when it's us. Kind of like encompassing the entire polycule.
Yeah.
It's more,
The unknown.
yeah.
It's understandable.
I mean, back when I went to the camp, they kind of took me in the middle of the night. That sticks with you.
I can understand that. And
Well.
it's something that is good to know, that that's something that we need to be wary of.
I know that my general paranoia is often a butt of jokes, but I promise there are reasons.
It's kept us alive so far.
It's kept me alive, certainly. Well, probably shouldn't keep them waiting.
Probably not. I also kind of want to see Joe try and jump off a building, so.
I don't think he promised to do that.
Yet.
I believe in your powers of persuasion.
Are we throwing him off a building? I thought we were throwing him off a building.
Oh my god.
Everyone just
Imagine if
shows
it
up and is
doesn't
ready
work.
to throw Joe off a building, and he's
Yeah.
like, I never mentioned anything about buildings.
Colossus
I never
special!
mentioned anything about buildings.
Fastball special! I can't fly!
There's like 3 of us who can catch him. It'll be fine.
Yeah. We'll make it work.
And a few of us who can throw him. It's
Yeah.
well, let's play catch with the werewolf.
It's just gonna pan over to Iron Maiden sitting there clapping.
We've
Oh my god.
traumatized
She
Joe.
holds
He will
up the
never,
fucking
ever
cards,
practice
the
powers with us.
scorecards.
8.5,
Need more
5.5.
spin.
Henry's also participating because she thinks it's fun. He's not in any danger. They'll catch him. Oh, they didn't catch him. Oh no.
I probably should have reduced gravity just in case of this situation. Did I accidentally turn it up? Oops. Keeping everybody sharp.
I am afeared.
You did this to yourself.
I did.
Well,
You're a big wolf now.
my God. The meeting's in the evening. Still the afternoon. And there is no window to climb through here, but basically he's proposing a fade to black.
Yes.
Alrighty. Fast forward to the evening. You can all meet up at the junkyard.
Definitely feel like Joe gets there early.
Are we all going?
I don't
We
know,
all
are
have
you?
I
Why not?
think
Well,
we
you don't
have
have to,
powers to
but-
test.
I'm just wondering if Elena was invited, she will go with. If
Oh,
not,
yeah.
Cynthia would have invited the full team.
yeah, she'll
Told
go.
them like what was happening.
I feel like as... Oh, good.
I was gonna say let's test Elena God mode too.
Maybe not.
Oh boy, I
Maybe
think
not
we need
as
to
a
move
junkyard.
outside the city for that one.
I feel like as Joe's waiting, Sora, like, turns to Flint. So can I just understand you, or... Hello, animals of the junkyard. I
Piss off a bunch of raccoons.
will not hurt you.
Or raise a raccoon army.
I
So valid.
just
Win-win.
want to know if any of you can understand me. Or if I can understand you.
There's a
The
rousing
goose comes out of
silence.
nowhere and attacks you.
Do you know if they're understanding me?
Who can say?
Why is he just talking to the junkyard?
It's Joe. Do we
Yeah.
ask questions anymore?
No, I don't think we should anymore.
No.
I would say that there's the possibility that all animals can understand humans.
Good point.
Can you really know for sure?
Oh, hey guys.
Hi.
I was trying to see. Never mind.
Communing
know,
with the
there-
junkyard?
There might be an easier way to
Commune.
determine that question. If all things can understand you or not.
Time to catch a
And-
raccoon.
Well, I was thinking.
I was thinking raccoon choreography, you know, like we could teach them like how to, you know, dance or whatever.
I feel like Sylvie sighs and just turns into a glitter raccoon.
Yes! The glitter leader of all the raccoon trash pandas. Why am I in Bob
Okay.
Dole voice? I don't know.
Alright, how do we test this? I feel like Joe reaches down and, like, picks up.
I think you can just talk to her.
Well, I mean, I know she can understand me. Like, she can understand us as an animal, but, like...
Tell you what. I have a thing that lets me understand what she's saying. How about she says something? You try to guess what it is, and I'll tell you if you're right or very, very wrong.
Okay.
I feel like Sylvie says in raccoon.
Raccoon.
I'm not gonna bite, just turn your fucking tongue blue already.
And what does it taste like? Does it taste
my
like?
You basically see Cynthia just like,
And I don't know how we want to roll this, but hypothetically, Joe would understand. Yes. It's Sylvie, so that's not
Let's-
technically an animal.
does the power apply to Faye?
Yes.
Yeah, do you
Let's-
understand? Do you speak Fey raccoon though? It's a very specific dialect. It's
Yeah.
Buddha Fey raccoon.
You would unleash your powers.
Okay, I can do that. Let's see here. My freak. Ooh, my freak is currently maxed out.
Oh, nice.
Dang. All right, that's an 11.
Alrighty.
So that was. I won't bite. Just turn your freaking tongue blue.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
that is
Sorry.
nice.
Just like sets her back down. He's like, oh wait.
There you go.
Okay. So I can understand animals.
Faye
And-
animal blood.
Faye, apparently.
well, Fae
Fey
animals.
animals.
Do the Fae have their own like language?
British.
Whatever we
What?
pick
I
up.
don't think that's the language.
Even
technically.
all right.
Yeah,
that's-
so like we can all
Nice
talk to
try,
Fae
though.
if they
I think
speak
they're
English.
French.
Then
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
think
no,
that.
not
I don't
the
think that
French.
the English. They're French, obviously. They're really fancy.
same pot, different.
La
all
belle
right.
dame San Mercé.
Same pot, different kettle. That's what I thought you were gonna say.
That's where I was going, and then I'm like, that doesn't make sense at all.
Does it
Well,
have to make
apparently I knew
sense?
exactly where you were
We
going.
We are. The three of us are currently chasing the brain cell around the room.
The brain cells chasing us, I think.
It's running from us. It wants no business. None.
But okay, so I mean that makes sense. Blue World's all about like animal people, so I talk to animals.
That makes sense.
You know, in
Sure.
hindsight, it's kind of weird I couldn't already do that, at least with like dogs.
I just kind of thought you could.
And no, I couldn't.
I just
I mean-
assumed you didn't talk to dogs.
I kind of like got the scent vibes, but like I can't like directly talk with them.
You talked with Freya before you turned into this.
Yeah, but I don't know how much Freya counts. No offense to Freya, it's just like she kind of was a person, so it's like
Does
That's
Sylvie
valid.
count then? Like this is. We might have to go find Gus, and you might have to talk to Gus,
You can find Gus.
and then you
Yeah,
could,
that
you
would
could
be a
have Cynthia read Gus's mind.
I don't think that's within my power.
Can you?
Are you sure?
It worked with
Have you
Sylvie
tried it
because she's
before?
she's human.
No. So maybe, but
The other question is, do we want to read Gus's mind?
I feel
I
like that
feel
would
like
be
they're-
fine.
It's
Dog.
probably a pretty safe place because he just like
But
likes
what
to play
about
wool, and he just, like
patient
really
Dr.
likes people, and he
What
like.
about,
Oh yeah,
but
that might
Dr.
not be
Patient
good.
confidentiality? 'Cause
What
he's
about,
always with your
Shit,
grandpa.
you're right.
What
What
about
if
I
the dog's a
forgot all
gossip?
about that. Actually, I
Yeah.
don't think that exists in this time because HIPAA wasn't a thing because that came with Roe versus Wade. So, Lord
The dog-
rocks.
is a Freudian psychologist.
What about Toby? Can you talk to the stag?
But that one's also
Stay.
Faye.
Well, yeah, but he is like he does
we
not
should
speak
we
to
find
us.
a
As far as I
raccoon and catch it?
know- As far as I know, Toby was never human. Toby's
Yeah,
been a
he
dog.
does not talk to us.
While this is going on, Cynthia's going to poke around in the junkyard for any animals, and she doesn't think this is a thing, but we'll see if we can see
Like
if
a
they have human
raccoon or
thoughts.
something?
I don't think they have human thoughts.
Can I
think
read
it's
the
like
mind of a rat?
I mean, yeah.
the
kind of
raccoon is thinking about the garbage in the garbage can.
and you can touch its consciousness. And I think, yeah, it's just a bunch of rat noises. Mental rat noises.
If anyone's looking to see Cynthia kind of just go quiet for a second, then like make a face like,
What? Did I do something? What?
No, not every face is about you.
So apparently I can sort of read animals' minds, but it's what you'd expect.
So it work on Sylvie because she has human thoughts.
Well, right now
it
I'm
does not
talking
work
to a
on
lizard, so I don't
It
really
works
know
on
what
Sylvie
to
because
expect.
Sylvie gave me a thing that
Human
makes it work on
thoughts.
Sylvie.
Oh yeah. So if can you read Flint's thoughts? Well, probably not then, because he's an animal.
Oh, you're
I
talking to...
Well, that'd
Joe
be
just
up
looks
to...
a little embarrassed.
I'm not going to try it without Flint's permission. Sentient creatures get sentient creatures that aren't trying to kill me
Yeah, that's fair.
get consent.
Well, I mean, I can ask. Flint, do you mind if Cynthia reads your mind? Or tries to?
I'm not that invested for what it's worth.
Yeah.
He says, she can certainly attempt it.
Let's give it a shot.
All right. Can I read Flint's mind?
You can, similar to the rat, touches consciousness, but instead of just hearing lizard noises, it's like there's a lot of energy going on. I would probably describe it akin to what you would expect Elena means when she mentioned like seeing universes.
Okay.
There's space in my lizard.
Cynthia's like staring at Flint and it's like, okay. Well then.
What? What? Huh?
There's a
What?
space in my lizard.
Your lizard might be able to see the time-space continuum.
Not the strangest concept I've heard.
The
Okay.
time lizard.
Honestly, that is kind of on brand for
Yeah.
us.
Instead of a time wizard, a time lizard, I'm here for it.
The lizard
The
wizard.
only difference is one letter.
Yeah.
Put a wizard hat on the lizard.
Would you
Oh, he-
want a wizard hat?
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
One letter can make all the difference, you know?
I mean, we know a costume maker, I guess, if you want, like, a costume. Is
Oh
it
my
rude
God.
that I didn't offer
We should
you
put
a
a
costume?
cowboy hat on the
We did get him a cowboy hat. He does
He
have
has a
one.
cowboy hat.
We
The
made
lizard
sure.
has a cowboy hat, a little
Yes.
one.
I mean-
is it bedazzled though? Like I feel
No,
like
it's not bedazzled
I feel
yet.
like Natalie would like to bedazzle it, you know, and I feel like maybe he deserves some bling bling. That's not
Given-
a word in this time, but you know, we're quite.
Given that most of the wizards we know are
Mean it
cowboys, would giving him a cowboy hat make him the Lizard of Oz?
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay, now I gotta ask, are you understanding anything they're saying, or is it just me you're understanding?
I'm able to understand them. I could understand you before you could understand me.
Hey.
Just like Roxy.
I only have the appearance of a regular lizard.
We're gonna come back to that. Quote, he has the appearance of a regular lizard.
That's less surprising than him being an actual lizard with that kind of power set.
Yeah.
I haven't poisoned you yet.
Wait, you are poisonous?
I think
I'm
the
pretty
reason
say it out loud.
concerned yet, but I can't hear it. So
I think
No,
Jen is
you-
concerned. Roxy doesn't know.
I think
You
all of
heard-
you just watch Flint take a hand and like
Yeah, no, that's how people look when they talk to me too.
Joe, when I turned into the lizard, I was poisonous. So yes, the lizard is poisonous.
I mean, yeah, but he like bit me and it didn't poison me then.
Maybe you're immune to the
He's
poison.
good to be immune. There are ways to find out.
Or maybe
You
he
can
only
choose,
is poison.
can't you?
Maybe when he actually,
Yeah.
I think that somebody
do
told
lots
me
of
that it's
things.
venomous, it's not poisonous, because poisonous is like the plants or something. I feel like Cynthia told me this once, or maybe it was Henry. I'm not sure. But I think the word that you're looking for is venomous. Venomous. Yeah,
I think a venomous is something else.
might be right.
Like a venomous moose?
Should I turn
Yeah.
it into
Oh
a
my
venom
gosh,
moose?
that would be so crazy. A venomous moose.
Make sure you don't mean
Vominos.
vominos.
I'm just gonna surreptitiously add another entry to the supervillains list.
Venomous?
Venomous.
I got channel points. I can redeem that NPC.
Oh, me too. Oh god.
But
Charlie's
okay.
like, no.
I mean, if you redeem them for Crow's game, I don't care.
That's true.
So I can probably talk to animals in general, which is neat. I mean, guess that makes recon easy. We don't even necessarily need to send Sylvie, we can just catch a pigeon.
Pigeon might not have seen what you need it to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Just because you can.
You
talk
might
to
get a
animals
good
doesn't
map
mean
of
they
all
have
the
a
french fries
high-
in the city.
Yeah.
On the
Central
flip side, that
capacity.
would also work if an animal is the only witness to a crime.
It's not admissible in court, but fair.
Well, it's something for us to start with.
True.
Why wouldn't that be admissible in court? It's like a witness testimony or whatever, right?
You'd need someone to come in and corroborate what the animal's saying.
Also, they could be a liar or crazy.
What? Are you telling me that I'm the only person that can talk to animals in all of Halcyon?
Yeah, so
It's unlikely.
If there's animal, well, yeah, no, that's true. But also, like, you know, how do you prove that you can talk to the animal unless you can get the animal to do something fun, like dance or something?
You get multiple people in at different times and have them talk to the animal and see if they say the same thing about what it said.
But also, like, what court is going to take that much time and energy to do that? I feel like they're not going to do that.
Depends on the case.
I suppose. If it was a very important case, maybe.
As my brain going to the parrot interrogation from Ace Attorney.
We should play more of that.
Parrots would be really good witnesses, actually. Because they just repeat back whatever they heard. So,
Fun
their
fact, in
integrity... They're
in
not
real life-
liars. They don't care. Give me a cracker and I'll tell you the thing. You know, it's like a simple exchange.
True. But in
Bit more
real life,
parrot
parrots have
witnesses.
been used as evidence in court cases, not witnesses. They have
Yeah,
been
they
used as
can't.
evidence.
They're not a people. They have to be evidence.
Yeah, it's more like
They
a
can't be sworn
recording,
in.
sort of.
It's also an episode of Gilligan's Island where a parrot had overheard a crime
Mhm.
and ended up on the island, and they're trying to figure out what happened. But it was
Mhm.
like from a TV show or something.
Trying to
It's been a
figure out how
while
you
since I
would.
watched Gilligan's Island, so
They swear the parrot in.
Mhm.
Like, I think legally speaking, that is the only reason you can't have an animal as a witness, is that it can't swear an oath to tell the truth.
It is not a person.
But also, they can't tell lies, really, because they just repeat back what they've heard, so...
Anyway, back to the plot.
The ethics,
Moving
the ethics
forward.
of parrot evidence.
So, okay, so that's one ability probably figured out. I mean, I don't know how much deeper that'd go.
We have a baseline and we can test it in the future and
Suppose.
see how that help or what applications it has.
Okay. Now, I mean, what should we try next?
Which
Um,
one? You have fire, you have storm, weather, related and
Creeping
scrying.
on people.
Yes.
Still sorry about that.
Well, you know what'll happen if you do it again.
But like, if it's an emergency situation, is it okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But if you spy on me when I'm in the shower and it's on purpose, you'll never sleep again.
I promise you it will not be on purpose, because I will probably run out of the room screaming.
Oh,
so
thanks.
that will be a good
That's
indicator.
rude. Have you ever? She looks great naked.
Have you ever seen her in the
Apologize.
shower? It is wonderful.
Yeah. You should have.
No.
Actually, we should get a bigger shower. Actually, now that you
Listen,
mention
I know I'm
Anyways,
nosy, but I'm not that fucking nosy, guys. Come on.
On an unrelated note, I should revamp the shower and make it bigger. Anyways, moving on.
Time.
Most awkward conversation for Joe ever. The rest of us are just like, no, she looks amazing in the shower. Shut up.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, I guess... Should we try the scrying?
On who?
Theoretically, you could scry an
Right on
object.
Tony. I want to see what Tony's doing.
Or you could try an object located in the guest house and see if you can scry an object.
Object would be great because
Yes.
And then people with different levels of familiarity that you have with them.
Mhm.
Yeah, what about that one gal that was with that repo guy?
And from levels of the familiarity objects as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because that way, if we have the sword whip, we don't know what that is. Could you scry on it possibly? Maybe.
But that would be
Then-
useful.
That's
That
like
would be
across
useful.
dimensions, though.
We don't know that.
We also don't know the limit of your power.
Mhm.
So why not try it?
Okay. Well, let's start with what we said would be like my baseline. We'll try my jersey. Joe will sort of sit on a push-up bench and just sort of and just try to focus.
Alright.
And in this particular instance, because of how this power specifically works, it would not actually do anything.
Interesting.
Okay. Alright.
So he's just gonna sit there for a
Fine.
couple minutes, just
You look constipated.
Yeah, do you have to poop? I still have the keys to the shop. We can stop by there if you gotta go.
it's fine. I don't think it's working.
What's not working?
Are you getting any kind of feedback as to why it's not working?
I'm picturing it in my head, but it's it's not like how it was with Cynthia. It's not like I see the picture and then it goes to it.
Maybe it
Okay.
doesn't work on objects.
Maybe it's just people. Try Tony.
All right.
Wouldn't it be awkward if you saw him in the shower?
Okay, let's maybe try someone else.
We don't know if he is taking a shower or not.
It doesn't seem like a time he would take a shower, but what do I know?
You know what? Let's try Reyes. I've already seen him in the shower.
Ugh.
Ew.
Ew.
What?
Gross.
It's Reyes.
It's a football thing.
You guys just shower together?
I mean, they already wear tights and tackle each other onto the
I
floor
never
ground.
showered with the team. That would have been weird. I don't want to shower. I didn't want. Well, I guess
We invited you to shower with the cheer team.
I did shower with the cheer team. I think that was the compromise of
I'm gonna
the
try Reyes.
solution, and it was a great solution, actually.
Again, Joe just sort of focuses in. Reyes.
In the shower.
I wonder if he's
You-
super fast in the shower.
Do see an image of Reyes come to mind. He's clearly in one of the dorm rooms at school, laying in bed, flipping through probably a rough sketch of like football plays in a notebook.
And Joe probably opens his eyes when it connects, and you all see that his eyes are glowing white again. Okay, it's working. He's in his room, looking at... No, dude, you need the guardsman on the left. The left.
I was expecting that to go somewhere totally different from that statement.
He's messing up my playbook. God damn it.
You do.
You know, I really
Not
noticed,
the worst thing you could see him reading.
I
like
really
that.
noticed
Yeah.
that he has some power control issues when it comes to the football team and
Just a
in the
little bit.
plays. He gets real like nitpicky and like, you know, a little obsessive about it. I'm not gonna lie.
I spent, like, weeks on end perfecting these things, so yeah, I'm a little picky about it.
Yeah, that's called founder syndrome. When you feel like you own something because you put so much work into it or whatever.
Well, I did put a lot of work into it.
But it's still a team, brah. Like,
Yeah, and I worked with the team to make those... Oh my gosh. Reyes, if you put Lucas there, I swear to God.
Maybe
Yeah,
don't spy
you're not
on
even on the
him.
team
This
anymore.
Is,
Why
yeah,
are
you
you
don't even
upset?
go to this team.
like you no longer have a vested
Vested.
yeah, interest in what happens with the plays, right?
Maybe I can just... You'll see, like...
They
he
don't
reaches out
allow
an arm.
supers, and I don't think you can hide your powers this time.
That is true.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like I could... Ugh. Just want to knock it out of his hands, but I can't.
He's really fast. I don't know if you could knock anything out of his hands at all.
Okay, but... It worked on him. How do I turn this off again?
Let's try
Maybe
it with
there's
someone you're
different
not
levels.
familiar with.
Try it with that one girl that was with the repo man. I want to see what she's up to.
He doesn't know what she looks like.
Yeah, he does.
I-
He was there. He got
I
thrown
saw
in a
her.
dumpster by the dogs. Remember?
I don't remember any of
Yeah.
this. I will be honest with you.
I got the bite taken out of my hat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's how his hair got all messed up. You know?
I mean, I kind of like it like this, honestly.
Okay. As long as you like it,
Okay,
I'm happy for you.
so... I mean, I don't even know her name.
You never gave one.
I'll try. And I imagine this I need to roll for.
Yes.
Okay, the dice are on fire tonight. That's a 12.
Okay. Your vision slowly clears and you see an image of her wearing the same sort of black jumpsuit she was in last time. It looks like she's with some other tough looking guys.
Oh, shit. It's working.
Really?
It's working, it's working, it's working.
Okay, shh. Figure out as much as you can.
She's in a jumpsuit. She's got like a bunch of guys who look like linebackers with her.
Okay, but they're not from the football team?
No, I mean like they're same size.
Oh, okay.
What are they doing?
Talking?
About?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, listen longer.
I'm not sure I can listen. Hang on.
Stop forcing it. You're forcing it too much. Stop that.
Are there any notes?
Are you growling?
Are
Are
you
you
re-
growling at me, Joe Hatakley?
I'm trying to focus.
That is not how you focus.
I'm assuming, unless I'm watching for a while, I don't discern much.
Seems like they're just having a discussion right now. You probably see a few of them definitely have guns.
Looks like they're just oh, that's a gun. Oh, that's a lot of guns.
Lots of super villains and we should be fine. Maybe. Well, Roxy looks different now, so we don't have to hide.
Do you
Yeah.
see any
Roxana.
insignia?
That was one. Well, I probably got to get a new insignia. I could probably just take it off the
Do you have
costume.
a sense of location of where you're scrying?
Like a room,
Describe the room.
office building. I think it's kind of. It's fuzzy.
It's very plain, nondescript.
They have a storage container for all I can tell.
All right.
Jesus, what is these guys' diets? They all have arms like mine when I was human.
From what I hear,
Probably similar
boiled
to
chicken breast.
I was gonna say probably similar to what you were eating when you were human and had
Blondie!
arms that size.
Do you want boiled chicken breast?
And boiled eggs. Don't forget about the boiled eggs.
Eggs are my go-to.
Yeah, it's a good source of protein.
It is.
I prefer,
Yeah.
other
Ugh.
stuff.
Okay, so
Then maybe a good periodic check to keep updated.
oh wait, is that? So it's okay if I do this to bad guys?
Yeah, I think you could do it to bad guys. I'm not gonna lie. We might need the information.
The information would be nice.
I break into people's heads all the time when they're not people I like.
I like your sense of like you know where the line is. Like really. No, seriously. I appreciate that you have that like distinction, you know?
My morality is based on whether or not you're an asshole and whether or not I like you.
At least you have a morality. Some people don't.
Okay, but
Joe?
now
Do me a favor. With your ability, you don't know this individual.
Ooh, we should definitely try that.
okay.
But try the huntsman.
Can you tell me what he looks like?
I'll describe him.
I'm gonna
And
take a wild guess and say very leader of the wild hunt looking.
yeah, Odin.
Mhm.
Yes. Because you said it right. Charlie, is that what we decided his actual name was?
I don't remember.
I feel like it was,
I
but
don't know if we ever discussed his name.
I mean,
I
we
think
did a bit
I-
with Odin's daughter as a
Yeah.
last
yeah, I think my last name's Odin's daughter, so I think that's what we went with.
Sounds accurate.
Hmm?
Okay. Scary, MFR. I'll try.
Roll to unleash your powers.
And again, with how this power works, after a few minutes, Joe just kind of goes, "Nope, I'm not getting it."
So it's either you need to personally, well, no, you don't personally know her. I mean, you've interacted with her.
Yeah, he saw her.
Maybe it's that I need to see someone in order to do it.
Blondie.
Because, like, Cynthia was easy.
Mm-hmm.
You see me a lot.
Only plastic,
Yeah.
though.
What about someone you've only ever...
Did Joe ever see Leo?
No, I don't believe so. At least not that he knew. I don't know if Leo's a shape changer.
I don't think
Charlie?
so. No,
Valid.
I don't think so because I think the few interactions you did have in
Yeah.
person with Leo, you kept very separate from the rest of the group.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think he did. Otherwise, I'd say Leo. What other singular? I mean, we
well,
could
that
try.
girl, the girl with the repo, like we didn't even know her name, really, did we?
We could try the sword whip guy and see if it is dimension limited.
Well, like, has he seen a
Don't
picture
eat
of somebody
plastic.
but not actually like seen them in person? I want to see if like he can spy on people based on pictures.
Well, I mean, I can think of one person.
Who's that?
Ruby Harrington.
Is that the actress?
That he's obsessed with? Oh yeah.
Is this who I think it is?
From the westerns.
A
The big leading
robot?
actress in the westerns he likes.
You know, she was the Lady in Scarlet.
Yeah, no,
Last Train Out of
How would
Austin.
Henry feel if you
Best
did
film
that,
of all
though?
time.
Like, I feel like you should really think about that.
But I mean, like, maybe something like that, like some sort of movie star. Like I've
Sure,
never met a
maybe
movie
not
star.
one that like you'll
Maybe
be
not
haunted by
her.
the visions of her in the shower forever. Though. Maybe. Just a suggestion.
I mean, it's like middle of the afternoon in Hollywood, right? She wouldn't be like in the shower or something.
Might have just done a scene. Whatever. You know what? You do you. I'm not here to
Make your
judge you.
choice.
You make your own choice. You decide your own moral lines. Yeah.
We'll try Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
I feel like Sylvie lets out a small breath.
He's Faye, isn't he? Unsurprising.
I do think the actor category would be a very gray area for this, so maybe roll? I leave it up to you, Charlie?
I mean, yes,
okay.
I'd say roll. Because I was also thinking of it in terms of distance as well.
Oh, true.
Like,
All the way in
easier to scram
California.
People, yeah, easier to scram people who are within the city versus people who are in a different
Ooh.
country.
Okay. And that may be tracking, because that's just a 7.
Okay, would you like to mark a condition, or I can tell you it's unstable or temporary?
Unstable or temporary seems right here, because that seems to me that, like, Joe gets, like, a slight connection.
Yeah, it's very fuzzy, and your vision probably goes in and out.
Oh.
Before
that...
cutting completely.
Whoa. Oh, that gives me a bit of a headache. Ugh, okay. Ugh.
So you did it though.
Kinda. I got, like, 2 seconds? I think he was drinking. Maybe.
So maybe we don't do Hollywood actors
Talking to
or
an
actresses. Do you think it was the connection, or do you think it was the distance that hindered you?
I don't know, but I just had a thought. There's a story I remember about the fourth world, the white world,
Mm-hmm.
and how death sort of happened.
Okay.
Basically, nobody died until someone saw the face of someone who had passed back into the third world, which is like a place where dead people go.
Dead people world.
Yeah.
So, what do you think that means?
Maybe it is that I need to see them in person, and maybe it's specifically that I need a face.
Could be.
Do they not have faces in the dead people world?
Well, I mean, it seems like all of this is connected somehow.
Can't Sylvie change her face and like we could like make her go somewhere else, and then you could try to do like she could change it into something random. Like, would you still be able to scry on Sylvie then?
I mean, my thought would be, am I able to scry on Hecate? But that feels like a major breach of...
Do not.
If
Yeah.
you scry on
seems-
Hecate and she notices, you're so done.
But, like,
Supermom will super throw you off a building, and that's the least of your problems, honestly.
Scrying on your allies when they have secret identities and you don't know when they're going to be in that identity versus their hero identity is a little rude.
Also,
I know-
major breach of trust. You don't want to
Yeah.
break Supermom's trust. You can't do that.
It's just she's the only person I can think of who I've met who I haven't seen the face of. So like,
Just because it is a secret identity.
Have you seen Tempest's face?
yeah, I think
Was she wearing a mask? When...
I think she was wearing a mask. I don't
Hmm.
know.
yes, she was. I don't know if I've ever seen her face.
Yeah.
What time of day is it? Above the table?
We met her at like 10 o'clock. It's like night.
All right. Well, it's not within my capability to give you permission for this, but if you
Yeah,
want to take
you
your life
should
in your hands, this is an hour at which Hecate is almost certainly Hecate.
You should probably call her and
We're
ask
gonna
her
test
first.
that for later.
I would
We're-
just call her and ask
That makes more
permission
sense.
first. Because I feel like if you do it without asking permission, you're gonna ruin her trust. If she consents to it and she's ready and she's got a Hecate stuff on and it's not gonna breach her privacy, then I just think that that's how you should do that if you're gonna choose Hecate. She
I'd
might
agree with
go
that.
for it if you ask her permission first and she's prepared.
She likes science.
She does. So
Yeah.
I think that she'd be
Getting
amenable.
her on board with the
This
science
really does
would
not
be
feel
much
like
smarter.
science.
It
This
is.
is.
Well,
We're
in a way.
testing stuff.
It's magic science.
Magic science. I love that.
I don't think that's how that works.
What is
It
magic
is.
but insufficiently understood science?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just don't understand it yet,
I'll call her.
That's a good idea. I think that would be good.
And Echo will call Hecate on the comms.
Too late.
She likes her suffering.
Stressed out.
Enjoy it just a little.
It's just like mistakes have been made, mistakes have been made, mistakes have been made.
Oh,
Echo to
Error.
Hecate.
Hecate here.
We're trying to test some of Joe's powers and have a working hypothesis. Are you somewhere where you are masked up and not in a identity-related sensitive area? He can possibly spy on people at a distance, but it might have something to do with having seen their faces. And he hasn't seen yours.
I think she should just respond with, "What?" I feel like that's a good place to end tonight's session.
what?
We
We've
finally got
stressed out
Hecate to be
Supermom.
like, what the fuck are you
Um,
talking about?
Wait
Did
till we
Echoes-
tell her about Elena's vision.
Did Echo suddenly realize, oh yeah, I didn't update her about that?
That's... I feel like at least at one point she said something about...
At some
Elena
point,
having-
maybe, but not these recent ones.
That's also true.
Because these were like a couple days ago.
Have we
Alright.
managed to help Hecate that Sylvie's dying yet?
I don't think so.
Oh jeez.
We
We need to
drop
keep-
all the bombs on her at once.
I'm
I
gonna
think
let
that would
y'all
be
know
great.
now, if y'all keep your super parent of the next game in the dark like this, there's gonna be a bad time.
Joke's
what
on
it's-
you. My super parent's not super.
I don't think
Jokes
I can
on
keep
you.
my
My super
superpower.
parents are super famous.
I don't really have one.
I don't think I can
Yes.
keep my super parent.
Oh,
in
I
the
mean,
dark.
I guess his literal dad is.
You can
I was
try.
thinking like his boss
I can
dad.
try, but it won't be very successful.
The strange man whose garage I live above isn't a superhero.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry.
mostly because I'm incredibly forgetful.
I have a lot of questions, but I'm not gonna ask them. Is what I've decided about the.
Oh, I don't. Why did I close my
Well,
notebook?
all
I
of
just
us have
found
a
it.
question to answer. So,
Mhm.
It's true. I think
Blondie, stop eating plastic.
I think I'll go with grow close to the team. Because Joe's extremely appreciative that everyone is being supportive in their own unique special way of his developing
Disaster.
circumstances.
Well, when your entire team is disaster lesbians, except for you, it's various forms of them.
Disaster man.
About to say it's 4 disaster lesbians and their disaster pet werewolf.
Yes. Basically, yes.
I think in specific, I will say Echo in this instance, mostly because Joe's mostly looking to her for expertise in, like, what the fuck do I do with powers, please?
Works for me.
How do power go?
Apologies in advance if this results in a condition, but I think it's pretty clear label shift for Freak Up, Mundane Down.
That would cause a condition,
Oops.
but I'm full up, but I was going to clear a condition, so
Whoops.
nothing happens. It's
Well.
okay.
You know.
Stay where you are.
I can see her under my monitor staring at the plastic she's trying to eat.
A lot of these
She's
just
waiting.
feel gremlin-y today.
I am also going to grow closer to Echo for the same reasons. It's not like weird things are happening with Elena's power, because that's just her powers are always weird. It's the apocalyptic visions. Cynthia might know about this. She's so smart. She's doing this for much longer.
Oh boy.
How does it feel to be the one member of the team we feel like we can all rely on?
What did I tell you about the
terrifying.
plastic?
All right, let's see.
I don't have anything to throw at her.
Well, since it's a similar issue, I'm gonna say same shift, Savior Up, Mundane Down.
My savior is locked.
Nice.
Then are you at clearing condition? Market potential?
I have no conditions, unlike some people. I somehow managed to
Joe and
avoid all of
Roxy
them.
have all of the conditions right now.
Mundane goes down.
The only thing Roxy has left is her hope. I guess she's not angry there anymore.
I'm gonna have Cynthia grow closer to the team, specifically Sylvie, because she was very touched by the extension of trust.
What am I gonna shift? I'm gonna say I think for how she made Sylvie feel after their talk, danger down and mundane up.
I can do that.
It made her feel more normal in the fact that she's worried, and they just had girlfriend moments.
Just having a little lesbian love nest.
Christian's
Totally.
the sanctuary.
Yes. Wasn't
Probably a good
necessarily
thing you-
Sylvie's intent, but
Probably a good thing Joe visited before that, otherwise he'd be like, oh.
It's like don't touch that.
yeah, don't touch anything.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna mark potential, and I've cleared my track.
Nice. I will.
Echo's gonna be the one person who gets to retire out of this group.
She's not
Yeah.
retiring.
I mean,
Never.
I've
She's
had
a
enough
tryhard.
things I can retire at any point once I clear potential.
I don't think Roxy will retire just because I don't know, but she might live forever.
We'll see what happens to
I
Sylvie.
want to see what happens with this world-ending thing.
Yeah, that might affect us.
Yeah.
I will follow the suit of the team and say Sylvie grew closer to Cynthia, specifically because they did have the moment.
This magic moment.
And
I think that's actually
I
two.
will clear hopeless
Nice.
for now.
Do you have a? Well, you did the label shift already, huh?
You would need to label shift for me too.
I'm so awake right now.
You're fine.
It's all
Not
good.
good.
For that label shift. Because Cynthia was in kind of a rough moment, uh, going to say, savior up, danger down.
I will take that hopeless back because
I'm sorry.
it's fine.
I felt hopeful for a second. Oh, now it's gone. It's gone. It's gone.
All of
Shit.
you
Oh,
need
fuck.
to get rid of your conditions. Jeez.
Honestly.
I have none.
Yeah, guys.
I
Gosh.
just have 2, so I'm not
Here,
as
toss.
bad.
Mine just built up so fast.
Part of that might be my fault.
Yeah, that
I'm
last
sorry.
fight, Rex, was just non-stop conditions.
We need to comfort or support each other.
However, my Doom
What?
did advance
I
again.
mean, some of that probably could have counted as comfort or support earlier, but
Wait,
We probably could have run that as
Yeah.
comfort or support.
I always forget to
But-
call it.
I also forget that move is an option.
Yeah.
well, note to self. Make a little sticky note reminder for San Sebastian. Coming soon to a TIFF near you.
Yeah.
We'll add it to my computer somewhere.
I'm gonna make a character that's so emotionally maladjusted.
That's not typical of you at all. No, I'll be shocked when you make a well-adjusted, an emotionally well-adjusted character. I love
That's
it.
boring.
Well-adjusted characters don't get arcs.
Yeah.
They just get to be happy.
Roxy's happy and she gets arcs.
I mean, you can be emotionally adjusted, but still have other drama in your life.
That's so
Yeah.
fucking true.
My characters just want to fight God all the time.
You don't
That's
say.
fair.
That, you know,
I love it.
Punch God is valid.
For
One of
a
my
while,
characters
I
did
was
that
on
one time.
A kick where I just had characters that wanted to beat up their dad. I wonder what that's about. Anyways, moving on.
Him.
Oh, is everyone God?
No.
Nope, we still got Jenna.
Well,
Roxy is gonna grow into her own image a little bit. She is kind of feeling a little listless, so I don't know that she's actually growing into it, but she's growing out of her old images and trying to readjust to new life. And making plans for that, and kind of reacquainting herself with the family, because I think that she's become a little enmeshed with the team and listless since working at the shop, and finding out she had a clone, so
Roxy Mafia arc when?
Yeah, I was about to say Roxy Mafia arc.
commence Mafia arc. She can live forever. They can put her in charge. It's perfect. No, I'm just kidding.
You just
Don't
spend
give me
the
ideas now.
years working your way up. the
This
mafia
is
ladder
why
until
Sylvie
she is
starts the
boss.
Fae Law Firm.
It's the year
And-
2053, and Roxy's finally the Dawn.
And she's taking over the politics, but Grandpa Les is long gone, so she doesn't, have anybody to remind her to act ethically.
No.
God.
Sounds about right.
Why are you yelling at me, Blondie?
All right.
Because she wants the plastic.
Yeah, and you took it away, and it was delicious, delicious plastic, and it's rude.
And here I was hoping that Roxy was finally gonna return influence to Joe, because I continue to be the one person who does not have influence over Roxy.
I'm still mad about that.
revealing Tony.
Let her throw you around and see if you can fly. That'll be a
Yeah.
bonding
That
moment.
actually would have fixed some stuff. I'm just saying.
It's so funny to me how everyone just like automatically gets influence over Roxy back, and Joe still is that one blank spot
We never
on the
lost it.
Roll20.
We never lied to her. Gosh.
Well,
I was
She doesn't
requested to
know.
lie.
that she knows of yet.
That's true. None of us have mentioned the mafia issue.
That might be coming up soon.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Sylvie might die a little bit when she learns that Roxy started working for Polly.
And then she's gonna die a lot when the Fae come to collect.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Okay. Maybe happening sooner than
So,
you think.
Roxy is feeling a little more mundane because she's like looking at getting a regular job again. Because she still doesn't know where things are at because things are weird between Cynthia and her. She feels like things are good between her and Elena, but she's still, she just feels weird right now because she's not in her normal body, and that's weird. It's weird. She's adjusting. So sorry, Joe. You don't get the influence back because Roxy's going through
It's
some
alright.
identity crises right now. Maybe you guys can bond over your identity crises next.
Distinct possibility. I've got to move for it.
I feel like you might be the only other one who's I mean, Sylvie's going through a I might be dead forever crises, and I guess Elena might be going through a little bit of an identity crisis with her dad showing back up, but she
Your
never
body,
shows.
your
Yeah, I feel like
body
Sylvie's
suddenly
like-
changed into something unrecognizable.
Yeah.
Boy, where have I heard that before?
Yeah, I feel like Joe is probably
Yeah, Joe's the
there's
best
a good
one.
potential for that. But so Mundane up because she is hopeful that her Uncle Paulie can help her get a job, and she can just have some things that she does on her own again.
Like crime.
Is
Okay.
it crime if
Doesn't
you
know
don't
it's
know
crime
it's
yet.
crime?
Wait a second.
Yes.
Did I just hear Roxy specifically say she wanted to do something on her own?
Yeah.
Egats.
She feels like it would be good for her to get her own stuff to do and own responsibilities outside of the
That
team.
personal
Aw.
development.
Yeah. So, that's where she's kind of at, and I'm gonna put Mundane up and Savior down.
Oh.
For that reason. She's kind of letting people sort out their own shit right now.
For once.
For once in her whole entire life, she's letting people sort out their own shit.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining us this evening. We should hopefully be back with Whispers this week. So join us for that. Things are crazy.
We could punch an old god in the face. We don't
Yeah.
know.
I have a book
Really?
that's worth more than 3 souls, apparently.
Which
We
is good
could use
stitches.
it to
And-
throw at
Yeah.
Ruby's mom.
And I just
Sorry.
have mommy issues, so
That's valid.
I feel
Valid.
like no one is surprised by that.
Valid. Yeah.
I mean, after the character
Tracks.
you've given me, I'm not surprised.
No.
Tracks.
So, everyone else have a good week. Eat a snack,
Okay.
take a nap, pet a dog, do what works for you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.